Shalom, Yashala, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders of Yashala. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakakadash, for blessing our elders with the spirit of truth so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Akwathium that's keeping the faith, and the works. Y'all keep at it. It's your brother Abaya coming at you with more precepts, man. More precepts. So, the last video I made was entitled "When is the Sabbath?" I kind of felt like I could have went a little bit more in depth with it, right? So I decided to do a part 2 to it. I talked to one of my ox and he agreed it should be a part 2, right? To kind of get more in depth of why we need to be why do we need to, why is it even important to understand when certain days are, what are certain days, like why do we call these days the days that we do? Because none of those days are in the Bible. This is only if you are following script, man. Right? This is for my brothers and sisters in the truth. Right, so I'm gonna start in the book of Sirach, which is Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 40 and verse 29. All right, Sirach 40:29. It says, "The life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not to be counted for a life." All right, so if you depending on somebody else, bro, to feed your mind, right? And it all depends on who this man is that's feeding you. So, because of the topic of today's video, right, the precepts that are going to be brought out is going to expose why we call these months what we call them, why we call the days what we call them, and who in reality we're following by doing so. This man is known as the wicked. This man is known as the son of perdition. This man is known as the devil, right? This man is known to worship Satan, right? This man, spiritual guide, is Satan, right? And this man is the beast, right? So we need to understand who these people are, whose table, right, we're depending on. All right, so let me start over. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 40, verse 29. "The life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not to be counted for a life, for he polluteth himself with other men's meat. But a wise man but a wise man well nurtured will beware thereof." Meaning he gonna take heed. So, with that being said, let's get into this video.
The most common form of timekeeping is the Gregorian calendar. First introduced in 1582 by Pope Gregory XIII, the calendar has been widely adopted around the world to benefit global trade. Yet this calendar is only one of as many as 40 calendars used today. In other parts of the world, you may come across the Buddhist calendar, or the Coptic calendar, the Hindu, the Hebrew, or Islamic calendars, all of which pertain to particular religious events and may involve different methods of timekeeping. For the most part, calendars cannot be separated from their religious origin. The Gregorian calendar is no different. Originally based on the Julian calendar, which in turn was based on the Roman calendar, which again in turn was supposedly based on one of the classical Greek Hellenic calendars, of which there were many, the Gregorian calendar uses planetary names for each day of the week. The origin of the planetary names is based on the gods of Greco-Roman mythology.
Greco-Roman, right? Greco-Roman. Go to the book of Maccabees, First Maccabees, chapter 1, and verse 1 says, "And it happened, after that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece." Right? That's your Greco. Right? Alexander died, and the generals took over. Right? Verse 7, First Maccabees, chapter 1, says, "So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth." Evils were multiplied in the earth when the Greeks took over. First Maccabees, chapter 8, and verse 1. "Now Judas had heard of the fame of the Romans, that they were mighty and valiant men, and such as would lovingly accept all that joined themselves unto them, and make a league of amity with all that came unto them." Right? So the Romans dealt with anybody. The kings of the earth are drunk off of the wine of Rome's fornication. Whoever want to come, they can come. Right? Greco-Roman calendar. Those are the days that we following. He just said the actual days are named after Greek gods. Let's play on.
English names of the week that we are most familiar with are derived from these same pagan gods, but differ in name due to a process called Interpretatio Germanica. According to John Lindau, in his book, Norse Mythology, A Guide to Gods, Heroes, Rituals, and Beliefs, the Germanic peoples who undertook the translation seem to have relied on the Roman gods whose names the planets bore, and to have tried to equate those gods with their own. In the cases of Sunday and Monday, the translation was obvious. The other cases, however, were more difficult.
Yeah, I just finna say here, I know he about to explain the simplicity of Sunday and Monday, which is sun and moon. Right.
Day in Latin, dies solis, or sol, is probably the most obvious. It is literally the day of the sun. Sol Invictus was the Roman sun god, the same pagan deity that is worshipped at Christmas. Monday in Latin, dies lunae, or luna, again is not too difficult to determine. It is the day of the moon. Luna is a Roman goddess and was seen as the female companion of Sol. Tuesday in Latin, dies Martis, or Mars, is a bit harder to explain. The name Tuesday is derived from an Old English word, Tuesdag, or Tuesday. Tu was the Norse god of war, but in Latin the name of the god of war is Mars. So the day of the week, as well as the month of...
Latin is what Romans spake. That's their language. Latin. Yes, Mars is a Roman god, just like Venus, just like Jupiter, just like Saturn. Right? These are gods that these folk got you calling on. These are gods that these folk got you basing your time on. Chrono, that's a god. Chronology, like in order, like the time that you keep on, like on your watch. These people really do have us worshiping their gods. This is from their table. This they portion. This ain't our portion. Our portion is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That's our portion.
March and the red planet in our solar system are all named after the Roman god of war. Wednesday in Latin, dies Mercury, or Mercury, again is not so straightforward. The name Wednesday is derived from an Old English word, Wodensdag, or Woden's Day. Woden is one of the many different names and pronunciations for Odin, a Norse god, although some archaeologists have thought that Odin may well have been a historical figure. Tacitus, a 1st century AD Roman historian, identified the Germanic worship of Odin to the Roman worship of Mercury. Mercury was seen to be cunning and changeable, hence the word mercurial, and Odin was viewed in a similar way. Thursday in Latin, dies Lovis, or Jupiter, is derived from an Old English name for Thor's Day. Thor is the more well-known Norse god of thunder, and Jupiter, the Roman god of sky and thunder. Friday in Latin, dies Veneris, or Venus, comes from the Old English word Fridag, or free day. Free is a Norse goddess and wife of Odin. The etymology of her name appears to mean dear, beloved, and one that is free. In comparison, Venus is the goddess of love, which would explain the association. Finally, the last day of the week is Saturday, or in Latin, dies Saturni, or Saturn. Saturn was the Roman harvest god, and other linguistic roots point towards the Germanic deity Satyr, who was a harvester of people.
Satyr is Satan. That's Hashatan. That's that cube that Islam worships that they walk around. Yes. That's Saturn. Saturn cube. We are surrounded by paganism, bro. And we the only ones who not taking it serious. When I say we, I ain't talking about, of course I ain't talking about us and the truth. I'm saying Israel in general. We the only people on the planet that ain't taking it serious. Now when I say only people on the planet, I'm talking about like the rulers. They understand what's going on. Not one of us do outside of us and the truth. It's important, man. Let me read to you why it's important, real quick. This is the book of Judith, chapter 5 and verse 20. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, speaking about us, the Israelites, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world. Man, we've been down for so long, bro. It ain't a record contract. It ain't an NBA deal. It ain't, or a record deal, NBA contract. You know what I'm saying? It ain't a lottery ticket. It ain't a Brinks truck on this planet, man, large enough or awesome enough to pay back all of the atrocities that we faced since being over here, man. Period. Niggas talking about reparations, bro. Reparations, y'all had to give over the whole country. Period. Up the keys to the White House, right? Take y'all ass back where y'all came from, and that's reparations. And they still doing it to this day, man. They got us calling on these Greek gods, man. That's why it's so important for you to clock in on time at the plantation. Because they got you rushing to worship some power, bro. Chrono. And when I say that, I'm talking about the people that really rule this thing, the people who started this place, the people who set the rules to how a person is supposed to work at a job, a person who set the rules on how we supposed to live in this place. That's what I'm talking about, man. I ain't talking about I'm not talking about that Edomite that you work with at your gig, man. They don't know nothing just like you don't. But what I'm trying to say is people on this planet that really know what time it is. And they know who you are. And they not telling the truth. That's enough of this video, man. The point been made. Let's get in these scripts. Let's go to the book of John. Chapter 3. And verse 5. It says, Yahushua answered, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of power. Right? Verse 6. That which is born of the flesh is the flesh, and that which is born of the Spirit is spirit. Meaning you have to be born again, man. Meaning you have to come to the knowledge of self as a babe, because you've been lied to your entire life. Your whole life, man. Everything about your life is a lie, except for the real memories that you gained growing up. Outside of that, man, what you faced every day, man, the rest of this is just, it's fantasy, man. We living in some sick motherfucker fantasy, man. The damn devil, who loves to see us kill each other, loves to see us hate each other. We're in the hands of our enemies, man. So, if we're in the hands of our enemies, we need to understand, where do these enemies come from? It all points back to Rome. Rome, Rome, Rome. It all points back there, man. All points back to Greece. All points back to Esau, man. Who is Edom? Who is Esau? That's a book. You need to check it out. All right? So you got to avoid the lies that you've been taught. Break all of that out of your mind and come and find truth. What's the truth? Psalm 119 and 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. The law is the truth. Right? So break free from the lies of this place, man. And find out where you are and who you are. That's a law. We're supposed to understand our Father to the best of our ability. The Most High controls good and evil. So the same way we have to understand the good, meaning understand who we are. We represent the righteousness on the earth. We the salt of the earth. So we're supposed to find out who we are, find out what we're supposed to be doing, and find out the moves that we're supposed to be making while we're on this earth, waiting for them spiritual bodies, waiting for the kingdom. And on the same token, you got to find out who your enemies are and find out their plans as well. And you do it all through script and actual, like, physical present day history. Physical, like, you can watch a video about it, man, about those times. Like, you can literally, it ain't no, they have several books on Rome, several books on Greece. Yeah, go get your school book. They used to shove that down our throat, man. World history. A book full of white men, a book full of white statues, white Grecian statues, Roman pillars all in our face, all in their books, man. Right? We got to know both sides. Let me get this right quick. see, it's the book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 20. The fear of Yahweh is all wisdom, not some, all wisdom. And in all wisdom is the performance of the law and the knowledge of his omnipotency. You have to understand what your father can do on this planet. Well, how else you gonna fear the Most High? If you that's the only way. You have to understand how he operates. The church say God is all love, like he never does bad. Scripture says opposite. You piss the Most High off, he'll kill your ass, man. You, your whole family. Straight like that. And he set folk over us that's operating in his left spirit, bro, in his left hand, man. In his left hand, bro. Understand these folk who ruling over us. It's important. Right? Like I said, like I tell y'all all the time, man. This ain't anger. This is not. I can't say it's not anger. It's anger. But this is zeal. This is passion, man. Because it's important, especially in these times that we're living in. Right? But let's go further into this, man. This is the book of John, chapter 8, and verse 43. It says, why do ye not understand my speech, even because ye cannot hear my word? Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. This man got us calling all kind of gods, man. From the shoes that you wear, from the clothes on your back, to the days of the week, to the months in the year, to the TV that you watch, to the car that you drive. Real talk, man. We under a damn devil, man. Right? But those of us that's in the truth, we operate different. Because we trying to get into the kingdom, and we know that takes effort and faith. Right? So this is the book of Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 11. It says, put on the whole armor of power, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Let's see what that word wiles means. Okay. It's a wild of the devil right there. They be loading up. Can't stop it though. Let me see. We just use an outside source. Alright. Wiles. Definition. A trick or stratagem intended to ensnare or deceive. Also, a beguiling or playful trick. Skill in outwitting. Basically, so that we can stand against the lies of the damn devil. This devil, first he say, Sabbath is on Sunday. Right, that's what he said first. Then he switched it from that to people started to wake up a little bit more. All right, and the Roman Catholic priests, they come out and say, well, you know what, really, Sabbath is from Friday sundown to Saturday. Nah, they say Saturday instead of Sunday. They say Saturday, right? People start to question that and wake up a little bit more. Then the Jews come into play, right? Them so-called Jews, they come into play and say, nah, you know what? It's really from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. That's how we do it under damn devils, man. Straight like that, man. All right, let's go a little bit further into this, man. It's the book of Daniel, chapter 7, and verse 25. It says, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times, and the dividing of time. Yeah, we there, and we coming out. We starting to wake up more and more and more and more, and the more of us that the more of us that wakes up, the closer the daughter of Babylon comes to burning. Thus says the Most High, according to Revelation 7. Right? So there is no such thing as an October, December, or January, a Monday, a Tuesday, or a Wednesday. Those are all made up things to have us worshiping pagan gods. But let's get a few examples of the names of the months. Just a couple, actually. Right? It's the book of Nehemiah, chapter 2, verse 1. And it came to pass in the month Nisan, in the 20th year of Artaxerxes the king, yeah, that same Artaxerxes from 300, yeah, that actual historical figure that lived on this planet, that Artaxerxes, yes. That wine was before him, and I took up the wine and gave it unto the king. Now I had not been before time sad in his presence. Right? I had to, put emphasis on Artaxerxes. There's a lot of people out there that claim this book is a fairy tale, but that's only because they don't have the spirit to deal with the book, because it's too complicated. They can't understand it. Right? Blessed are your ears for they hear and your eyes for they see. All right. Let's get one more example of a month. The book of Exodus, chapter 13 and verse 4. Says, this day came ye out in the month Abib. Nisan, Abib. I don't see nothing about April. I don't see nothing about May, June, July, none of that. Right? Like I said, the name of this is, when is Shabbat? If you watch the previous video, you would see why I said the moon dictates your month, because it's literally named the month because of the moon. So when the new moon comes, that's your new month. This video here was more so to explain whose calendar, or who are we following? Who is dictating time to us? The same people that's dictating who you are. So, one more script. Most High willing. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people." Get your mindset out of this Western slave nigga mentality, man. Slave wetback mentality. Right? Wake the hell up, man. You are more than what these people say you are. You're not the color in a crayon box. You are not named after two white men. Your history is the beginning of time. Right? It says that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Because it's about to get there. Right? We can clearly see Revelation 13 unfolding right before our eyes. We can see 2nd Ezra 15, 14, 16, the buildup of 13. Man, it's here. It's here, man. Joel 3 is, hey, we can see it. Verse 5, it says, "For her sins have reached unto heaven, and power hath remembered her iniquities." It's about to be on. The minute they start putting their hands on the Most High chosen, like not just all Israel, but the ones that's trying to please the Father, and it's going to strictly be because of us trying to please the Father, just wait. Y'all going to see it. Some of y'all going to be involved. Some of y'all going to be turning us in because we're not going to be operating like society want us to. Whether you know it or not, we have entered into the new world order. We there. They just trying to go on, flip that light switch to go ahead and so the whole world can see it, plain and blatant. This the last few steps, man. So wake the hell up, right? Gird up your loins like a man. Get your spirit straight. Keep working. Keep the faith. Most High willing, this video was edifying. Most High willing, these precepts were edifying. Call Haloyim Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Harakakadash. Shalom, Yashala.